Okay, so we'll get started. I will go over the basics a little bit now, but you should have listened to the class by Pingu yesterday or watched it on his Twitch to really have a good grasp of the theoretical basics. We will do hacking first as a practical, so we're actually gonna hack Amy or Cytadel 101. Let me just quickly, okay. Now I'm actually live. Yeah, but we'll go quickly over the basics of scanning and hacking again, just so we're on the same page. And if at any point you got questions, just plonk them down in the class chat or ask here on Mumble. I'll do my best to answer everything as well as I can. This is my first class, so very exciting for me anyway. So scanning, best for you, it's always best to just undock now if you're not already undocked, so you can actually follow along. You can obviously check the stream as well to if you're not understanding something correctly or if you don't know what I'm talking about, and obviously if that doesn't help, ask away. So if you're in space, you can open your probe window and your system map. It's all integrated now, so Alt plus P is the default, and you can also find it around, oh well, still have to, yeah, right. So there's a button left to your capacitor donut. There are a few buttons. You can click on the scanner button and then the solar system map, I think it should bring up. Nope. Solar system map and the probe scanner. And of course, you should have ideally a decent grasp of D-scan to really go exploring. So I will not go over D-scan like in detail, but obviously if you later have some questions around that as well, I'll try and quickly answer those. But yeah, the D-scan obviously is very important. You can also find that under the scanner button, or if you click Alt-D. Stay safe as an explorer, really important. Spam the directional scan and watch local. If you're really doing serious exploration, you will be in hostile space. High-sec exploration is possible. You can do sites in high-sec, but they don't really give much of anything. Okay, so if you're an Amy or anywhere else, doesn't really matter, but an Amy, if you get the probe scanner open, you can now see if you haven't filtered anything, 2, 4, 6 signatures. 3 of those are basic cosmic signatures with a red X, so those need to be scanned down, and we have 3 green sites you can warp to directly. There's a button there to warp there. There's also icons that actually tell you what those sites are. You also see the signature, which is kind of important. Okay, baby's in the room, so just a moment, please.
Oh, baby's in the room.
Guys, how do I join the class chat?
If you're open channel window, so click on the plus sign. on any chat channel window in game. You can then plug in Eve and then
someone linked it in the
Yep.
channel.
Yeah.
Got it. Thanks.
Destiny.
Okay, let's continue. So we have 6 sites altogether, 3 you can warp to directly, 3 red sites you need to scan down. We will not scan down those sites now, you can obviously train that for yourself, but we'll actually use the combat probes and actually scan down some other things I prepared for you. To sort through the window, you really should use the filter, especially if you do an exploration in any basic frigate. You don't really care about the green sites. You can't do combat sites, you can't mine, so it doesn't matter. Just click on the filter button and the anomalies are X'd. You click on them, the X vanishes, and those green sites vanish from your probe scanner window. Okay, so now what you can see is you have your D-scan range, which is obviously nice if you're actually zipping around the system to check if there's any threat. You can keep that in mind. And if you launch your probes, you can actually see those right in front of you on the overview as well, but you can also see them on the map now. Yep, you're all spamming, great. As you can see now, you have scanner probes as a name, you have combat scanner as a type. If you use a D-scan, you will also see them as combat scanner probes. There are also core scanner probes out. So if you're at any point, usually in a system and scanning, and you're sitting at a safe, obviously when you see combat probes, get out, get safe, because they will scan you down really fast. Like a good scanner can scan you down in, I don't know, like seconds pretty much, before you even know it, and they're onto you, they warp to you and scramble you, and then you're dead. So keep that in mind. But for now, we are actually using those combat probes. We are now probably freaking out a few people in Amy, but whatever. That's the class. So with those probes, you can obviously not just scan down normal signatures, but also actual ships. So that's what we're gonna do in a little bit. But for now, we're gonna recover the probes. And we're gonna actually hack. Just to go over the basics here again. Any further questions just for the basics on scanning? Obviously, usually if you're exploring, you should use a safe. That's the first thing you do in any new system, just create safes. We use those. Here we can do the scanning from the Citadel or wherever you want. Okay, so you should all have your data analyzer, maybe also relic analyzer, but the relic analyzer doesn't help us here. So we need the data analyzer. You can actually target Citadel 101. And that's a neat thing to train. The problem here is when we do this is really challenging because Citadels, any structure, has like the maximum level for hacking. So it's actually really challenging, but you can do it over and over again. If you fail, nothing happens, it's all good. So you can just try again, and you each time will get a completely different grid, and eventually you will get it. Even with lower skills, you will at some point get lucky. Just if you're better at it, and if you got the skills in game, of course it's going to be easier and faster. But yeah, in general, shouldn't be a problem. You can just do it over and again. So for scanning, oh, I actually totally forgot. I totally forgot to link the slides, so you can actually obviously check the slides from Pingu if you haven't been to the class yesterday. You can just recheck the theoretical basics. Okay, so if we're actually hacking, there's obviously different levels. If you're hacking in low sec or anywhere else, you will encounter like really easy hacks as well. So those are not going to be a problem. But we're going to actually hack the structure. So if we click on the data analyzer, when you have the structure locked up, you will see the grid. And this is a pretty big grid now. As I said, it's like the higher level, or I think the highest level possible. So you will get every hostile node you can get in this hacking minigame. And possibly the thing we want to hack, the system core, will be right opposing your starting point at the farthest corner, somewhere around there. So for me, it would be the upper left corner right now. Your starting point obviously is completely different. Your grid will look completely different. And we can just go and start and just click along. You can see a number whenever you click. You can see a number actually coming up there. So you actually know, okay, there's something close by, or you're pretty safe. So right now, for instance, here, I can see, okay, this one had 3. So I know, okay, any other actual interactionable item or system is 3 nodes away. So these are all safe. For me personally, I don't really look for this. I don't really look for this because when I'm out in space, I'm in hostile space, I just do it as fast as possible. But you can obviously use this. So here I had a 1, and there's a basic node with the 80 coherence or HP and 20 strength or damage points. It actually does. Here's another one. So we're not going to go there. There's another one, and there's another one. So everything is locked up. Gonna try and kill this one. Now I have really low HP, and this is rule of 6 again. So in here is a harder hitting enemy. So if I do this, I will absolutely die. So I'll try and get some items around the place. So I'm just clicking all the other nodes and actually getting 2 utility subsystems, kernel rod. Those are really neat because they halve the life or coherence of any node you click on. So I'm going to use both of them. Oh yes, 13 coherence, and I can one-shot kill it and it doesn't do damage to me. And there is the core. I can't kill it, sadly. So let's see. I now found a data cache, clicked on the data cache. So those are those glowing orbs. The problem is a defense subsystem might pop up as well. So that's something to bear in mind. Although, as I can see now, Cytatil 101 at least has only yellow levels, so it's easier to hack. I don't know much about hacking structures, to be honest. It's just for training purposes. So, and yeah, a lot of you already found it, so you actually don't get any loot or anything. You just get the vulnerability timer of the structure. So that's what you get when you actually hack structures. Yep. Okay, so you can also go to, I think Rivet City, I think, has a higher level. So if you want to try higher levels, you can also do that. But of course, the best thing is really to just get out into exploring and just do it on actual nodes and actual sites, because you have the pressure and it's totally different than you can't do it over and over again. You lose your loot, you need to check D-scan and all that stuff, so that makes it a lot harder. Okay, so any questions for now? I hope I explained it decently.
Yeah, I think you've explained it perfectly fine.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, then we'll go actually to scanning. So, as I said, there are no actual signatures we are interested in. If you use your D-scan, you should not be able to see any of the things. Oh yes, you should be able to see at least one. One thing you should scan down now. So I set up a bunch of safes around the system. Great, you can see those safes in the stream, whatever. So I set up a bunch of safes, and you can just go around the system with your combat probes and look for reapers. So corvettes, just try and scan them down, and then warp to them directly once you got them green and kill the thing. And you might find some loot in it. Prepared a little bit of stuff in there.
Are you talking about the cargo containers?
Nope. So on directional scan, you will actually see a Reaper right now. If you're at Cytatil 101, you should see at least one. So it's CDO data is Reaper. So that's a corvette, noob ship I prepared, and you can try and scan that down. And there are multiple others around the system as well. So what you do is just click launch, get those probes out. Obviously you can then use the interface to actually get the probe sites different and use different formations and all that stuff. You can use the actual interface, either the planes, so you can move it in a plane, or the arrow key, so the arrows, so you can move the probe cluster in all the directions on a straight line. I usually use just the planes, and then just go to maximum probe size, or actually we just need 8. Amy, isn't that? 32 AU. Amy isn't that great, isn't that big. So when we click analyze, and we should have like everything on there. So yeah, now we have pretty much everything. We can disable drones and chargers, so we don't see any drones. You can actually scan down drones. That's also a nice thing you can do as an explorer. Scan down drones, get those, and yeah, loot those. So we just want ships. We can go to the filter and just go deactivate all of them, expect the ships. So now we have all the ships, so there are a bunch of ships here. Obviously you don't see what those ships are, so my best signal is around 8%. Well, that's not great. Obviously 32 AU is really big. The bigger the radius, the farther the probes are away from your actual target, the lower the signal strength, and of course the more probes are on target and close to it, and the lower the range is, the better the signal will be, and eventually you can actually find them. So I'm just gonna put those in the middle because there are a bunch of signatures there, and go to like let's go 16 AU for now. Let's just go. So usually 2 years ago, when I actually had an Omega account and like pretty much max scanning skills, I would go like 8 AU and then directly to 2 AU and then to 0.5 AU. So really bigger jumps. I can't really do that now. So I got one ship here at 16%, so I'm gonna focus on that. I usually just go for the signal that is best. I don't yet know what that ship actually is, so I don't know if it's some other player ship or actually one of the ones I planted. That's a combat battlecruiser, so now it's yellow. I'm at 25%. I actually get an icon for the battlecruiser, and I can see also, okay, it's a combat battlecruiser. So I could actually scan down maybe some Unister and scare them, but nope, I actually want to find corvettes and someone. Very good, very good. So we get the first kill. Is that the first kill? Yes, it is. Great. And you got the broken drone transceiver. Something, at least. You didn't get the carbon. Okay, so now I'm in luck. I actually get a corvette. What do you know? It's near one of the saves I set up. That's strange. What a coincidence. So I only have the corvette on here. It's at 46%, still yellow. I still only know it's a corvette. So I'm gonna go further there. Just going as close as I can. And I'm at 0.5 EU now. So I'm just going for it, and I should be able to scan it down now. There it is. That's an actual Reaper. Okay, wonderful. So I'm actually gonna warp to it. Let's see if anybody of you is there. Very good, Hazard. Now just kill it and get some loot. Okay, I'm all alone here. I'm not gonna kill my own ship. But yeah, that's basically the gist. Wonderful. So we got Hazard, we got Skyscraper, Makito, John. Still need to kill them. Do you lack weapons?
Won't we get hit by Concord if we kill him?
Not if you're in Ivy League. But yeah, if you're not in EVEUni, yeah. But you should have your safety on green, so that won't happen anyway. Great, you got the carbon and the broken drone transceiver. But you didn't get the data core, which is actually the best thing I plunked in there. Oh, are you actually fighting over them? Very nice. Ah, very good. Ooh, you didn't get anything, Hazard. What a shame. And Pike got the carbon and the drone transceiver. Nobody is getting the data cores. Loot Fairy is not happy. Yeah, so that's basically like the basic problem and also interesting thing about exploration. Obviously, it's the same thing when you're in a site. You actually might get some good loot, or you might get no loot at all, like 1 carbon, or yeah, no loot. But you also might get like a can where you get millions, 5, 10 million even, if it's really extreme. Okay, so any problems scanning down or any questions coming up?
Yeah, I've only found the one and I'm too slow.
Yeah, no problem. So Makito, yeah, I would at least wait until everyone found one. I hope I have enough for everyone. We got like 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 people in here. Yeah, should be enough. I have, I think, L11, I think. So Makito, you should be able to kill one other if you want. Okay. Rove, do you want some expanded probe launcher and combat probes so you can actually try it? Okay. Let's get to Site 101. Okay, so looks like we're pretty fast, even though my setup took forever. Afterwards, nice, another one. When we're done, I do a quick break if there aren't any questions, and then come back to the stream. So if you want to watch some more exploration, ask some more questions or whatnot, feel free to. Ah, now 2 got the data cores. Very nice. There you go, Roth. If possible, it would be nice if you could trade me anything I traded you guys back. You can also just, I think, if you're inside of the 101, just send it over to me. So we don't need to trade directly. Wasn't there some option now to do that?
Forest loot, baby. Nice. But I got one.
Right, so you can just, if you're in Citadel 101, you can just deliver any items to me and then I'll get them back. So I don't need to be in the Citadel. Oh, thanks, Hazard.
Well, thank you for lending them to me.
No problem, gladly. Yes, you can, Pike. So what I did, I just warped to the safe and then eject it. So you can at any point also click on your ship right or on your capacitor donut and click eject. Don't click self-destruct, obviously. Click eject, you can just jump out the ship, get to another ship and just board that. Back when POSes were a thing, so not the side of the things that we have now, that was the way to change ships pretty much, especially in wormhole space. You just had ships in the POS shield and you just eject and switch over. Obviously it was a very nice opportunity to also steal stuff. And there are a lot of stories of very, very high value steals through this boarding system.
Could I just trade you the stuff back then?
Yeah, I'll get into Citadel 101 again. Okay, so are there any questions?
No questions for me.
No, clear.
Yeah, this was a bit unstructured. I didn't have the time to really prepare well as I wanted to, but
Any tips on how to scan things down a bit faster?
yeah, I can go over that again in a second. I didn't really, I think, explain it very well.
I wasn't available for the last class, so I might have missed some stuff.
Yeah, no worries. So if we're going into there's one signature, so I can try that. Okay, so if you actually have a signature already, so either you use the cosmic signature or you have the comet probes and you want to scan one of the ships down, best to really focus on your actual probes or on the signature, so you can double click on that and then really zoom in. And obviously always go as close to the actual signature as possible, and then use your AU slider or your mouse wheel to adjust. So 8 AU is a pretty decent start usually, and then you need to go probably, if you got alpha skills at least, really one by one. So right now I have a split, so there are two possible locations. I'm just venturing a guess that this is the location, the upper one. So I'm just going to 4AU and then clicking analyze again. The thing is, this is really repetitive and it does take time. The probes have to warp there, the probe scan has to go through. With skills you can actually also get it to scan faster. And really, to be faster, you just need to do it a bunch. And it's all about just plugging them right down as close to the actual signature as possible, and then not being overzealous and getting the probe size too low too early, because then you might at least lose the signature again. But really just going through it, and once it's yellow it should be pretty fast to really do it. I don't know, did that help in any way?
Yeah, definitely.
That works for me. Hideo, really quick, were you supposed to return the things we found to you, or?
Yeah, if you're in Amy 101, you can click right click on any items and just deliver to, and then deliver to me. Yeah, the hacking thing. So there are the ones that actually heal or make other ones stronger. Those really need to be killed first, and then there are, if you get them right away, and then there are those that lower your attack. You got no other chance but to kill them. And ideally you do it through items you find. So there are actual items that do damage, dot basically, damage over time. Those are ideal to kill those things. And if you get both, so the ones that actually upgrade other nodes and the ones that lower your damage, yeah, you might as well reset pretty much if you don't have like amazing items in your inventory already. Yeah, you also have a shield you can get item-wise. Those are perfect for the high damage ones. Okay, yeah, so that's, I think, everything covered for now. Okay, Rove, you... Maybe you can ask where John is and scan around that. That's good. Okay, so if you don't have any more questions, I will go and take a little break. And then I'll be back with actually hunting a storm in Nullsec. There are metaliminal storms that actually help explorers. They buff probe strength and coherence, I think, for the hacking. I'm not sure anymore. The electrical storms, and I hope to find one today and then do some more exploration, especially with a lower skill set. Those should be really helpful. You don't need to give me the loot. You can just keep the loot.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's basically what you get for actually doing it right.
All right, thank you.
Okay, then we'll conclude the class. Thank you very much for attending. There is one thing. Does anybody have the link to the class feedback form on hand? I need to find it.
I have it here. In the class chat thing, if you just reload the message of the day, and we can get it from there. Yeah, there we go.
Right, thank you. Okay, if there aren't any questions, then thank you for attending again. Fill out the form. I know this was really bumpy. This was, I don't feel like I really explained it very structured, but well, my first class, whatever. I think you got it, so that's nice. And if you want to stick around, I'll be probably streaming in like 10-15 minutes again. So I'll